What's up, guys? Frosty here with a Disgaea 3 Absence of Detention video. This is going to be the first video that I do in a series of videos for this game, displaying and giving you a guidance on the different modes, features, and guides just generally for the entire game, strategy, whatever. This first one I figured would be a very important one to check out once you get through the initial steps of the game, which are very helpful to read up on. It's the classroom and homeroom features. So let's jump right into it here. This woman is available from the main area at the beginning of the game. You'll just talk to her and go to the classroom here. Now, once you're in the classroom, I know there's a little bit to stomach here when you first get in that you're seeing. So let's start off by seeing characters here. As you see, all these characters in these seats, minus the goblins in the back here, are my characters that I have created and customized in the game. Now, their seating arrangements and the letters above their heads I will explain in just a second here. Now we see the seating here. The seating actually plays an important role of where you, the seating in the classroom plays a very important role during battles, because if you see here, let's pick Mushi for example. Now you see close friend, you have Sexied and Helen. This is because he is sitting next to Helen and he is sitting next to Sexied. Now what that means during a battle is the chain rate will go up plus 20%, as well as giving those players a higher chance of getting team attacks during a battle. Now, team attacks is something I'll cover in another video, but basically, if you have two characters standing next to each other during a fight and they both attack, there's a chance that a team attack can be triggered for extra damage. And doing that with characters that are sitting together, there's a much higher rate of that occurring. So you want to plan your attacks in a battle based around who's sitting next to who. The close friends mean that those are the people that are going to jive well together and do more team attacks together. So moving on from that, rather than having them sit together with the close friends, there is also another very important thing about seating, which is the letters above their heads, and that is the club that each character is assigned to. Now that's the next thing down on here. If I select Assign Club, here we go. These are the ones I have unlocked. These become available to you throughout the game as you progress through story mode and chapters. Now, the one you start with, Going Homers, there's no special effect to this, so you can just put whoever you want in that club. You can have up to 7 members of a club at one time. Now, if you look at this one, I'll show you Robber Shop because that's the one I use the most of. Now, what Robber Shop does, the explanation, is you gain 50% of the mana gained by students seated nearby. Now, by seated nearby, that means characters that are sitting next to each other. So, as you can see, I have as many members as I can in this club. Also, I would like to correct myself from before. Different clubs also have different amounts of people you can have in them. So that was my mistake before. But yeah, Robber Shop. So as you see, I have these 4 guys in the back with Robber Shop, and my zombie up front here with Robber Shop. Now what that means is basically, let's say Sexied for example. That means whenever Mushi, Helen, or Tao get a kill, Sexied will gain 50% of their mana from that kill. Now, for Tao, that means when Almaz, Scab, Helen, Sexied, or Mushi get a kill, Tao will get 50% of the mana. Now, if I were to sit someone behind him and give him Robber Shop, that means anyone sitting around him he will gain the mana from. The next group that I'm utilizing right now is the corner group. Basically, what corner group does, the corner res group, anybody that's sitting in any corner of the classroom is going to gain 25% more XP when seated in the corner. So that means Mao, whose seat is right here, who I'm controlling right now, he is in corner group, which means when I get a kill with him, I get 25% more experience from it. Yang also will get the 25%. Mushi will get it, as well as Lawrence. He is also a corner group. So corner group is only useful if you put them, obviously, in the corners of your classroom. That's basically the explanation for assigning groups. I mean, there's a lot more groups in the game that I have not unlocked yet, but basically you get the idea. You want to assign clubs to players based on their seating arrangements, and you want to put them in seating arrangements based on how you want your battles to go. So it all intertwines together. Next on the list, items. Now, some of these items are your regular items in the game that are used for battle and whatnot. Some of them, such as bombs and medicines, will explain to you that it's an item for homeroom. Bombs, for example, will be used, I will show you in just a minute. They will be used during voting for new things for characters and such in the homeroom, as well as other things that you can use to bribe during homeroom, which I will explain in a minute as well. So this stuff, status item, I mean that's the stuff that's in your normal game here. Now, if I go to homeroom, let's say, I mean, it doesn't really matter who I pick, but I'll pick the person with the most mana right now, because that would just make more sense to me. So I'll pick Almaz. Now, basically, not only does your mana allow you to learn new skills and things like that, you're also going to be using it on your characters while you are in your homeroom. You can create a new character at no cost, but the cost will come after you finish creating the character. So once you go to create character, you have an option to create creatures that you've seen in the game that you fought already, as well as character classes that you've unlocked throughout the game. And basically, let's say I want to make this character right here. Now, this screen right here, basically, you can go up. The higher A being the best, F being the lowest. A costs 5,000 mana to do it. And you also need a 52% approval rate when you go to vote to make this new character. And as you can see, it tells you the bonuses that they get. When you create this character, you will be given that many more points to distribute between their stats as you see fit. So obviously you would like to try and save up as much mana as you can if you plan on creating a character that is a distinguished or a genius, but also remember that you need the approval rate to be able to create them. Also, main characters can be recreated, but they will not need they will not need an approval. You only need the approval if you're creating a completely new character. Which brings me to reincarnation. Reincarnation will cost 100 mana for you, and let's say I want to reincarnate Almaz, since I'm on him anyways. I can reincarnate him as a skilled student for 200 mana. And my inheritance will be 75%, which means he will go back to level 1, but he will also inherit 75% of the stats he's gained at his original class and level, as well as keeping the skills that he has learned as the class that he is right now. So any skills that you teach them, they will keep during the reincarnation. So the idea behind reincarnation is you go back to level 1, but you actually become stronger because you get more stats to distribute, and you'll grow faster. And you can also pick a different class. So you can make a character that is proficient with many different weapons and have a larger skill set between different weapons. You could have a character that has tons of skills with guns and tons of skills with swords. Whereas normally, if you have a gun character, they're not proficient with swords, but you can reincarnate them and give them proficiency with swords as well, and they can use both if they want. So that's the idea behind reincarnation. Almost like if you're familiar with White Knight Chronicles. When you reincarnated, you lost a bunch of levels and some of the abilities to equip your equipment, but you were given a lot more stats to distribute, which in time and in turn would make you stronger once you got back to where you were. So in the long run, it's going to be worth it for you to reincarnate as much as you can. Absorbing. Absorbing, since I don't have the mana to do it right now, I'll just explain it to you. What absorbing is going to do is you can absorb another character and learn abilities and also improve your own abilities by absorbing the character. I'm not sure entirely how this works, But you will lose the character who you absorb, obviously, making one of your other characters much stronger. When I do have the mana to do this, I will definitely do a video showing you what it's like and what it will do. More expensive stuff, basically, that's going to allow you to buy more expensive, high-ranked things in the items in the shops, which is just described to you. Now, I warn you, product rank 1, you're going to keep for a while, because even when you jump to product rank 2, you're looking at a lot of stuff costing between 5,000 and 8,000 to buy. And when you go to 3, it's 10,000, 20,000. It gets really expensive really quick. So early on in the game, first few chapters, you're not going to want to use the mana to boost it up that much. It's not going to be worth it because you won't have the money to afford a lot of things. Cheaper stuff, if you accidentally go too high, or you just kind of you had the mana to spend, you wanted to see what was available in the higher ranks, you could actually drop the product rank back down so you can buy, so you can purchase things that you can afford. Stronger enemies, you can make the enemies stronger, which in turn will also give you more experience for killing them. You can make the enemies weaker as well. Weakest enemies, and appointing are the clubs. Those are the different clubs that you can acquire. Now, if you notice, the approval rates are very different. Approval rate is basically you go to a vote room anytime you want to use your mana to do something that has an approval rate, and the class representatives will vote on it, and you can use items to bribe them to steer them towards getting what you want. Or if they're already in a high approval, you could just go ahead and vote for it. If you do not win the vote, you will still lose the mana. So it's a risk if you have a low approval rate and you still want to go for it. Go on a school excursion. This will triple the XP for that specific character. Only once. You will triple it for the first enemy that you kill, but it's only with that character that you used that mana on. So if I were to use it with Almaz, he's the one that's going to get the triple XP for the first enemy he kills. Field trip, basically your bonus gauge. When you're in a battle, you have the bonus gauge that goes up to 9. If you use this, that's going to fill up all the way at the start of the fight, which means no matter what you do in the fight, if you win the fight, you're going to win every single bonus item, which is pretty worth it to do for only 50 mana. If you've got it to spare, it's definitely a good thing if you're looking to get a lot of new gear, a lot of high XP while you're doing your regular battles. Prinny Day, I have not done it yet. I can only imagine what it does based on the description. I'm assuming you can only use Prinnies in your next fight, but it doesn't explain to you, how that plays out. So I will do a video showing you a Prinny Day as well. Embezzle club funds. This is obviously frowned upon, but honor students love it. You could actually steal money from everyone else in the club. Obviously, nobody wants to approve that, as it is at 1% approval rate. You could expand the classroom as well. I have not done this yet because I haven't had the need to. Not trying to make a million characters off the bat. It's not really worth it. But you can make your classroom bigger, so you can make room for more characters to create. And you can also have up to 10 on a battlefield at once, so keep that in mind. Punish them. This is something I'm going to do in another video. You could basically send people to the detention room. I have not delved too deep into this yet, nor am I familiar with exactly what it does yet, but I will do another video once I find it out for you guys. Your representative list here, you can check, and you can see what if they're agreeing with you more, or if they're not agreeing with you. And you can continue to bribe them to get them more in your approval. And if you do bribe them, remember that the people that are leaning towards yes already, the people that you bribe that are leaning towards no, when you bribe them, the people that are leaning towards yes are going to get mad. So it's going to balance out, so you got to be careful with that. So with all that being said, this is basically an explanation for everything that you can do from the classroom location of the game. And I guess I'm just going to end this off by doing a vote for Badgentology, because I actually really want to get this group due to the fact that I have 2 gunners and 2 gun magic change enemies that I would love to be able to use more efficiently. It's only got a 39% approval rate, but we're going to go in and do this anyways here. Hope for the best. Maybe I can get some bribes. Now, as you see here, the characters that are in red are very opposed to the idea. Very many of them are very not for what I want to do. So, if we select him, we can give them items. This guy is drunk, so I'm going to give him medicine to sober him up. And now opposing reps are more in favor, which is kind of good. This guy is also drunk, so I'm going to give him medicine as well. And they're slowly trying to turn everyone. I'll find somebody that is very against. Total opposition here. Strongly for. This guy is in total opposition, so I'm going to throw a bomb at him. He hates me now. That's not good. That didn't work at all. Maybe if I give him some candy. Maybe I'll give him some candy. Think I'll like some candy? I think I'm just fucking this up more than I probably should here. So we'll see what happens. Obviously I have not saved this, so let's just go for it, and I'm probably gonna not win it at all. But I'm just gonna reload it after. So let's go ahead and vote here. Let's see what happens. Just so you guys can see how it is. I'm gonna fail, but just so you know what happens when you do fail, so you don't make the same mistake. Obviously, make sure everyone's approved before you do things like this. Yeah, see? I got totally denied on that one. Epic failed there. Oh, persuade by force. And before I get my ass whooped by some level 700 demons, I'm going to stop the video so you don't see that. But anyways, that is a complete description of the homeroom features of the game. I hope that was able to help some of you who are confused about the features. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the video and I will respond to them. I'm very active on the on my YouTube channel, so I will definitely get back to you. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it or if you want to see more. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you around.